High game, 8.5 minutes in as the Spartans run their half-court offense. Payne back in. Green fumbled it a little bit. Now Trice calls a play with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Travis Trice, the freshman, lost the ball. Stolen away by Carter. Stockton shoots the three. Good!
Ralston Thornton went under the ball screen, and that's what the scouting report says. Keep Stockton out of the lane. He just stepped behind the ball screen, knocked it in.
David Stockton is 9 of 13 from 3 this year. He doesn't shoot a lot, but an extremely good outside shooter.
He only shoots wide open ones like that one. He's not a guy that's ever going to force it.
Tough shot from Draymond Green makes it a 1-point Gonzaga lead.
It's the first time Draymond Green has been comfortable. Draymond Green likes to back you down either block. He prefers the left block, but it's the first time you can see he had a little bit of rhythm to his postgame.
Pangos with Harris this time, the screen setter. Here's Stockton. Gets into that lane. A little floater was blocked.
And that's what you try to speed guys up. You try to speed guards up a little bit. And that's what Michigan State tried to do the second time. After Stockton hit the first one, speed him up when he gets into the lane, and they were able to do it. First time, right here, they just didn't fight through the screen. You're going to see a ball screen come, and just don't fight through it. Go underneath it, but you never want to touch the screener. When you're playing defense against a ball screen, the idea is don't touch the screener. So many kids want to grab the screener and play off the screener. Just don't touch it. Just get through it, high, low, whichever way, and go.
Wood curls into that jumper. Defensive rebound for Harris. Stockton on the bench now with a couple of fouls. Bell back in. There's a touch for Sacre down low. The double team came, and Thornton helped poke it away.
Well, great help by Thornton. That's what he is in there to do. A lot like Michael Hart of Gonzaga. Just make plays, be the glue guy.
Green, three-pointer, good.
Elias Harris was late getting back because he didn't hustle. There's a ball screen. You know you have to get back to Draymond Green. He didn't hustle on the play. And when you don't hustle, more times than not, you take a shot on the other and you're going to miss.
Harris missed the three there. Appling attacking, draws a foul, and it'll be a shooting foul.
Well, ball screens are a big part of this action, and you're going to see Elias Harris right there. He doesn't sprint back to Draymond Green. You have to sprint back, recover short and low, and with a hand up, make him put the ball on the floor and keep him in front.
Sophomore Appling at the free throw line. This is the first of two. Keith Appling with the foul on Harris. Appling, the sophomore, who's having to learn how to be the point guard, played off the ball last year, Dan, and lately he's played real well.
He has, because he slowed down a little bit. Michigan State, you can go back to Eric Snow, you can go through Mateen Cleaves. They always want a point guard to bust it up the floor and play really fast, which is fine when you're used to doing that as a point guard. Appling wasn't. Got going too fast earlier in the year. He slowed down now, more effective.
Last week shared Big Ten Player of the Week honors. Appling. Marquise Carter into traffic, and he traveled. Turnover, Bulldogs. Well, ESPN, your home court of college hoops. Tuesday, more college basketball coming up at 7 Eastern. The Tennessee Lady Vols against Rutgers. Then at 9 Eastern, Central Michigan and Minnesota. That's coming up on Tuesday on ESPN. Here in Spokane, 3-point lead for the Spartans with the ball. Appling wide open, but no good. Gary Bell. Pass was tipped out of bounds. Bulldogs will keep it.
You can see Gary Bell is built to score. He's not a guy that's used to handling the ball. Very lucky there. He was throwing a pass as the wingman Carter was back cutting. Pangos needs to be the ball handler with these other four.
If the ball hadn't been tipped out of bounds, it would have been thrown out of bounds. Gonzaga, 8 turnovers here recently. The alley-oop almost worked. Harris had a chance to dunk it home, couldn't do it. Here's Appling crashing into Pangos. That's an offensive foul.
That was great defense by Pangos. Rule of thumb, first guy back, sprint to the front of the rim. Pangos did that. Then he read the eyes of Appling. You see here, he's back. Now he reads the eyes, keeps his shoulders square outside the arc. Terrific defensive play. That's a skill in basketball. A lot of kids can get back, and guy goes by him and says, I got back, coach. No, you get back and then you make a play. And Pangos did.
Mark Few says he's been much better on defense than he's gotten credit for. He definitely gets credit for his offense. You saw it there.
It's amazing. You make a great hustle play, and you come back and offense follows. Earlier we talked about Harris being lazy on a defensive play. Excuse me, great defensive play. Offense follows. Harris made a very poor defensive play. Bad offense followed, if you can follow what I just said there.
Oh, I got it all, Dan. Don't worry about that. Spartans chucked the ball out of bounds. That's a turnover, Michigan State. Well, 7:57 to go first half. Rocking here in Spokane. And Kevin Pangos, that freshman we've been talking about, helping the Bulldogs battle against the Spartans. Thanks. So big news in college football. Meanwhile, in the NFL, Monday Night Football, just head on I-90, a couple hundred miles from where we are in Spokane to Seattle. The Seahawks will be hosting the Rams at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. You can also watch live on Watch ESPN. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern with Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's. Well, Dave Fleming, Dan Dockage back in Spokane. Dan, a big difference in this game, transition defense.
Yeah, transition defense huge. You see here, Draymond Green doesn't sprint back to the front of the rim. Pangos gets back to the front of the rim. That's the difference in Green fouling on one end and Pangos taking a charge on the other. You sprint back, you get to the front of the rim, you don't let the ball get thrown over your head, you don't let the ball get dribbled past you, you're able to make a play. Green did not, Pangos did.
Spartans have, though, Dan, played good half-court defense. They have not given up a field goal attempt to the big man Robert Sacre. He has not gotten a shot off from the field. Bulldogs have been sloppy with the ball lately, a lot of turnovers.
The reason Sacre hasn't gotten the ball is what they did in practice today. Tom Izzo talked to his post guys about getting their chest into his shoulder. And you just saw Derek Nix just did it right there. Was not able to let Sacre turn a corner and get position.
Bad pass, another turnover. Nix steals it away.
The reason Gonzaga's turning the ball over, all their passers are lifting up when they pass. When you get in traffic, you want to get lower than the traffic. Gonzaga's raising up and making turnovers because of it.
Offensive rebound for Thornton, who's really the Spartans' hustle guy off the bench. Price's three was way short. Bulldogs not much from the outside either in these last few minutes. Now enters it to Sacre, but a good ways away from the basket. He'll try to get a little closer. Sacre, the tough move.
Sacre scored on Nix, but that was on Draymond Green. Draymond Green came over to help, and instead of moving his feet and taking away Sacre's shoulder, he kind of reached. And when you reach on a kid as strong as Sacre, he's going to go score.
Sacre could well be the player of the year in the West Coast Conference this year, the senior leader of the Bulldogs. Now on defense. Zags back up by one. The look to Nix, but he couldn't quite handle the low pass. He lifts Pangos off the ground with the jump ball situation. Pangos held on for dear life and gets the ball back for Gonzaga.
Well, let's look at the last possession, Draymond Green, and where he is and what he should do. Sacre's going to make a move into the middle of the lane. Here's Green. Keep your eyes on him. He comes over, and instead of moving his feet getting in there, Green just reaches. Now, on the other end, remember earlier in the game, here's the same look at it. Right here, Green's going to come into your picture, and he just reaches instead of putting his body, moving his feet, taking away the left shoulder, which, again, is on the scouting report, takes Sacre's left shoulder.
Pangos on the perimeter. Mike Hart trying to get the ball down low. That was a bad pass. Ripped away by Green. Turnovers already for the Bulldogs, usually very good at taking care of the ball.
Hart was just a little sped up trying to get the ball in the post. He knows it's been difficult. You don't have much time to get it in there.
Nix from the elbow area, fumble the ball away.
Yeah, he can't dribble more than one time.
Bell in transition, nice scoop shot.
That's what Gary Bell Jr. is. A scorer. Go to the rim. Don't be a ball handler. 1-2 dribbles always towards the rim or pull up and shoot.
The freshman Gary Bell has 10 first-half points. Zags back up by 3. Green just being hounded by Hart. Tries to get by him with the dribble.
A terrific move. Draymond Green going to his right hand. When you have Green on the side, you can't let him in the lane. You've got to keep him out of the paint area, force him to the baseline. Hart not able to do it.
Harris posts up against Green. Elias Harris, little spin move, too strong. Appling will slow it up in the half court.
Appling slowed it up because Green and Nix were exhausted and couldn't get down the other end.
The Spartans are going to have to use their depth here tonight. Green with the move, left hand with the foul.
That's a staple move of Michigan State. Hit the high post. Guard goes screen, bring the post ball side. Sacre, again, you see him reaching in. Jumping to the ball is a fundamental of defensive play, meaning when the pass is made, you literally jump to the basketball. When you fail to jump to the basketball, you arrive late. And when you arrive late, the offensive player either scores, gets fouled, or both.
Green, their leader, having a nice first half himself. He completes the three-point play, and he'll get that breather that maybe he was looking for.
Yeah, it's always funny. Green was laboring down the floor. He gets a three-point play, and he goes off the floor sprinting. It's amazing what scoring will do for a guy's energy in basketball.
Little pep in his step. After the nice move and finish. There's an entry pass to Dower. And they call the foul against Dower posting up.
That's a good call. I was watching that, and Dower just destroyed Gauna on the left block stepping in. There was absolutely nothing he can do, and that's a point of emphasis for officiating post play. Defensive player has every bit the right to the position as the offensive player has.
Mark Few wasn't happy with the call.
Mark Few was mad. Tom Izzo was happy.
Usually works out that way.
Yes, it does.
Appling. Keith Appling with the bump. No good. Payne went high up, couldn't get the offensive board. And here's Bell again. Gary Bell, he's just not slowing down. And a blocking foul called against Michigan State.
Gary Bell's going to be a star. He is built to score. He is strong. He is confident. He's not a point guard. He's a scorer. And right there, Wood's back, but a scorer just has the ability to step around a set defender.
Checking to see if, with all that contact, any blood was drawn, I think.
When you play against Michigan State, generally blood is drawn.
That's a part of the game plan for Tom Izzo.
It's just the way it is.
Now this is a little different in college basketball this year. They're allowing a slight delay to clean up if there's any blood. Before, it was automatic. The player had to come out of the game. Now they'll pause, give the team a chance to try to clean that up and let the players stay in the game. So while they do that, we want to remind you that Monday Night Football, the Rams come to Washington State, play the Seahawks in Seattle on ESPN at 8:30 Eastern. Also available live on Watch ESPN. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern with Monday Night Countdown served by Applebee's. Just take the I-90 from here in Spokane all the way across Washington State. We're in far eastern Washington, close to the Idaho border. 279 miles, I'm told.
Everybody told me from Indianapolis, where I live, to Spokane was going to be difficult. It was really easy. Flight to Denver, flight right in. And Spokane is a wonderful city. We had a great dinner last night.
Great college town, and they sure do love their Bulldogs.
They do. They were a lot of activity downtown last night. Good food, great place.
I particularly enjoyed it because you picked up the check, so that made it one of my favorite dinners of all time.
That's what I do. That's just what I do. You go to dinner with me, chances are I'm picking up the check.
You and I are going to be working together a lot. Bell makes one of two free throws. 1 point lead for the Spartans. Tough guy kind of first half here in Spokane. There's Gauna. Gauna knocks down the shot.
Well, that's what he can do. He's a pick and pop guy. And he has played very well in practice, according to the assistant coaches, and has been rewarded with